Have you heard of the gold-silver ratio? If you've been around precious metals for a while, then you probably know what it is. Maybe you even know how it works. But if you're new to precious metals, it's very possible you've never heard of the gold-silver ratio before. Now, either way, did you know that you could use this tool to potentially double, triple, or even quadruple your gold and silver holdings with little to no effort at all? In this video, we're going to talk about what the gold-silver ratio is and how to use it correctly. Okay, let's do it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I do sincerely appreciate it. We're going to jump right into the gold-silver ratio, or the GSR. So if you look at the top right on your screen, you'll see the live updating prices for gold, silver, platinum, palladium. There's some other things in there as well. And then down here on the right, it says gold/silver. And this number right here, 88.35.36, it's changing obviously because the price of gold and silver are changing as I'm filming. But that is the gold-silver ratio. So if you take this number and you multiply it by the price of silver, you will get the price of gold. Okay, so basically, how many ounces of silver does it take to have the same value as 1 ounce of gold? Now, of course, we're talking about the spot price. We're not talking about physical metals when we look at the gold-silver ratio. So if you wanted to figure out what the gold-silver ratio is using physical metals, you would have a different number than this number right here, because of course there's premiums when you buy or sell silver. Same with gold, so the actual gold-silver ratio is going to be slightly different than this number here. But whenever we talk about the gold-silver ratio, usually we're talking about spot price and essentially how many ounces of silver equal 1 ounce of gold. So this number right here, 88.39, is this a large number or a small number when we look at the gold-silver ratio? What does this number actually mean? Well, a lot of people will actually look at the gold-silver ratio and decide if they should be purchasing gold or purchasing silver based on what this number is. And so this number is actually a fairly high number. If we look at historical averages, the gold-silver ratio is usually around 60. So this number 88 is a high number. Now, should you buy silver or should you buy gold when the gold-silver ratio is high? Well, you should buy silver, because essentially it's saying that silver is undervalued compared to gold. So if this number was like 100 or 200 or 300, you'd really want to buy silver. You'd only want to buy silver. In fact, if this number went up to like 200, I would sell every ounce of gold that I have and take that money and immediately buy silver. So the higher the number is, the better a buy silver is. And the reverse is also true. The lower this number goes, the more appealing gold looks, because gold is becoming undervalued compared to silver. So if this number drops to 50 or 40 or 30, well, it's time to buy only gold. In fact, if this number gets low enough, you should probably sell your silver, maybe not all of it, but probably sell most of your silver and use that money to immediately buy gold. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about how to play the ratio, how to use it to your advantage to end up with more gold and more silver, because who wouldn't want to have a stack that's twice as big as their current stack, right? Now, what if you could do that without spending any money at all? That would be great, right? So why would you not play the ratio if you have the opportunity to play it? Now, before we talk about playing the ratio, I want to give you a few general rules of thumb when it comes to the GSR. So if the GSR is above 80, then you really want to be focusing most of your money on silver. So if you want to stack silver or gold, you look at the GSR. If it's above 80, you should be stacking mostly silver. So right now, you should be buying mostly silver. Now, if the GSR is between 80 and 60, then I say you should buy a combination of the two. Buy some silver, buy some gold. And then if the GSR goes below 60, you should focus more heavily on gold at that point. So I'm not saying you need to go out and sell your silver and buy gold or vice versa. All I'm saying is when you're focusing on stacking, that's what you should kind of use as your guide. So again, above 80, buy silver. Between 80 and 60, buy silver and gold, and below 60, buy gold. Okay, now let's talk about using the gold-silver ratio to your advantage. This is how you get more metal in your stack, how you double, triple your gold or silver holdings. So we're looking at the 5-year gold to silver ratio chart. Now, you'll notice that the high was back in 2020. This is right when COVID was getting kicked off. The GSR hit 125.89. That is the highest the gold to silver ratio has ever been. At that point in time, gold was priced around where it is today. It was about $16.50 or something like that for an ounce of gold. And the price of silver came down to around $13 an ounce, I want to say. And so it was kind of the perfect storm. I mean, gold was doing pretty well. Silver was priced ridiculously cheap. And as a result, we had this record-breaking level. The low on this chart, 64.16, that was in 2021. This is when silver went up to about $28 an ounce. So silver was around $12 or $13 an ounce here, and right here it was around $28 an ounce. So if the price of gold just stays flat and we see silver shoot up and shoot down, you can kind of see how you could play the ratio to your advantage, right? And so when we look at the GSR, obviously it factors in price of gold going up and down and the price of silver going up and down. But if you just play the peaks and the valleys, then you can actually really expand the amount of gold or the amount of silver that you own. Okay, now we're looking at the 15-year gold-silver ratio chart. We're going to dissect this one a little bit, and I'll explain to you how you can play the ratio and use it to your advantage, right? So again, the high 125.89 in 2020. The low on this chart was back in 2011. This is when silver was basically at its all-time high. Silver was around $50 an ounce, and the GSR was 31.64. Now, if we take the low, 31.64, and we multiply that by 4, you will almost exactly get the high right here, 125. So this is 4 times greater than this point in the chart right here, which is kind of crazy that in just 10 years, the gold-silver ratio could go up 4 times. Okay, now let's use this chart and talk about a situation where someone actually triples the amount of silver that they own without doing anything but playing the ratio. So for this scenario, we're going to start back in 2011 when the GSR was at a low. And let's say this person took a 1 kilo silver bar down to their local coin shop and they sold it, and then they took that money and immediately bought gold. So a 1 kilo silver bar has just over 32 ounces of silver in it, and because the ratio is 31, they should be able to sell this kilo silver bar and buy an ounce of gold. Let's say gold has a little bit of a premium on it, but either way, it's going to be fairly close. So at this point in time, they have 1 ounce of gold, and they wait 10 years. They wait for the ratio to go up. Well, what are they doing during that time? The gold is sitting in their safe, and it's not like they're working and making money to buy more silver. They're not doing anything. They're just sitting on their gold. And once the ratio comes up to 125, they go back to that same local coin shop, sell their 1 ounce of gold, and use that money to buy silver. Well, because the ratio is now 125, it's not like they're buying 1 kilo of silver. No, they're going to buy much more than that. Now, we know silver has a premium. They're not going to be able to buy silver at spot. So let's just say they're only able to buy 100 ounces of silver, okay? Which I think is fairly reasonable. That's like a 25% premium. And so I think that's probably something that they could do in real life. But either way, they had a kilo silver bar. Now they have a 100-ounce silver bar, which is over 3 times the amount of silver, and they did nothing but play the ratio. So this is crazy. I mean, you could do this forever. You know, you buy your 100 ounces of silver here. Now you wait for the GSR to come back down into the 30s. You sell your 100 ounces of silver. Now you're not buying 1 ounce of gold. Now you're buying 3 ounces of gold, right? So you have 3 ounces of gold, wait for the ratio to go back up, sell that, and now you have what? 300 ounces of silver. And you keep doing this back and forth, and over a long period of time, you can see you could actually end up with way more silver or way more gold than you initially started out with. And again, it's not like you're working and making money to actually buy more silver, buy more gold. You're not doing any of that. You're just simply playing the ratio. So this is a really cool thing that people actually do. And it's not like you're always going to be able to play it perfectly. I think in real life, you know, if you could just double your gold or silver holdings every 10 years by playing the ratio, this is something that seems more reasonable. So, you know, when the GSR is 80, maybe you sell all of your gold for silver. And then when it goes down to 40, you sell all your silver for gold, and you pretty much double your holdings at that point. That's probably more reasonable. That's probably more in line with what you could expect. But I just wanted to bring up this concept because I know there are a lot of people who have recently got into gold, recently got into silver, and maybe they don't fully understand how the ratio works and how you could take advantage of it. And so I hope I explained it well in this video. If you have any questions or thoughts, you can leave those down below in the comment section. But yeah, this is a really cool concept. I would say in general, you know, when should you actually sell your silver for gold? When should you sell your gold for silver? I would not do it unless the ratio is at an extreme point. So if we see the ratio go down back into the 40s or 30s, I absolutely will be selling my silver for gold. But if it just dips down into the 60s or maybe high 50s, then, you know, maybe I'll sell a little bit of silver for gold, but I'm not going to go all in unless the ratio goes really low. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then vice versa, you know, if the ratio does go back up to, you know, 120, 125, 130, whatever, then I probably would sell some of my gold for silver. But with the ratio where it's at today, you know, around 88, I'm kind of just buying more silver. That's kind of my strategy right now. If you have a specific strategy for playing the ratio, please put that down below in the comment section as well. I do want to say a massive thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.